Today, Facebook began rolling out a site redesign to help the site compete with Twitter and the microblogging phenomenon. Will the changes help the social networking site remain king? It's time to investigate in The Loop. Joining us from New York to help make sense of it all is Caroline McCarthy, staff writer for CNET.com, covering the social networking beat. Hey, Caroline McCarthy, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. First of all, what's your Twitter name? Is it just @Caroline McCarthy?
No, it is my first name, but there are 3 I's instead of 1. I'm thinking of changing it because it's a little bit difficult to explain.
All right, but everyone loves Twitter. I'm on it all the time. But let's talk about Facebook for a sec, because we'll get to the Twitter thing. It hasn't rolled out to everyone just yet, but Facebook did begin switching over their site to a new design today. And I know, like, my page, for instance, says we're about to switch the page over. So I personally don't have it, but I have seen it. But do you want to tell us about some of the new features?
Yeah, well, basically, it's a design and user experience change. There are no major new functions on Facebook, but the way that you navigate through it is different. Your home page, the news feed, is in real time now. It does not auto-refresh as much as I would like it to, but you can filter by different friends groupings or locations. So, for example, if I want to see on my Facebook homepage what all my friends in New York are up to, I can do that. On your profile, there is a much bigger focus on, again, status updates, which is certainly influenced by Twitter.
Absolutely. Now, based on our poll results, beep, 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 56% don't even have a Facebook account. I mean, do you think that could somehow explain why they've decided to change up their format?
I'm not really sure. I find those poll results extremely surprising because Facebook does have over 175 million users worldwide. Granted, most of them, I believe, are outside the U.S. now.
Oh, okay.
So it's possible, but I'm very surprised that 56% of your poll respondents say they don't use Facebook.
Now, listen, Facebook, obviously you can monetize Facebook because they're putting ads on it, but then again, Twitter is an open network and has trend tracking capabilities, which is huge. And with that in mind, do you think that any of these changes to Facebook will kind of bury Twitter? I don't think so.
Okay, well, what you've got to keep in mind is the fact that Facebook, as I said, 175 million members. Twitter is a fraction of that size. Facebook, you can store photos, you can store videos, you can poke people. Twitter, only thing you can do, well, I mean, you can nudge people, but nobody really uses that, is these 140 character updates. I think comparing the two is really apples and oranges because Facebook, in functionality, is much bigger than Twitter, and as a result, I don't think that Facebook feels it's competing with Twitter. I do think it's a testament to Twitter's influence that Facebook is imitating it like this.
You can't send anyone on Twitter a knighthood invitation. Are there any... I know. Well, I like using Twitter because it's totally separate and it's simple, and I feel like it's a very distilled version of the internet. It's just pure, short bursts of information in real time. Exactly.
You don't have to worry about getting that zombie bite.
You don't get the zombie bite. But are there any changes to the new redesign that you'd like to see added that they haven't implemented?
What I like when I do a search on Twitter, if you go to search.twitter.com, I search for, kittens or something. If there are new Twitter updates that have the word kittens in them, it won't scroll through them so that it's kind of a madness, but it will give me an alert at the top saying, hey, since you loaded this page, there are 7 new results. Click here to refresh. I'd love to see that on my newsfeed. Maybe it's going to come in there, but I haven't seen it yet. I also think that, at least on my profile, the print size, the typeface for the feed in the center of it, so my wall posts and my status updates, it's bigger than I'd like it to be. I have to scroll more than I'd like to.
Now, I want to see what, one of our producers, Brian, came up with the term spam tagging today because I was complaining about how on Facebook, someone will just tag you in a photo that you're not in just to drive traffic to the image or to the flyer or whatever. And so I kind of feel like, there's so much information being thrown at you at Facebook. Do you think they're going to start shaving some of that out to compete with the distilled version of Twitter?
Well, in the new Facebook redesign on the home page, if you see somebody's status update in your news feed and you're like, hey, maybe this person's on my friends list, but they're kind of annoying, or I don't really care about this person, you can opt not to receive any more updates from that person. Can't really speak to spam tagging. I know I got tagged in a periodic table of the elements. I believe I'm sodium.
Oh, Carolinium.
I don't think such a thing exists, but somebody on my friends list was tagging everybody in the periodic table. So I know the feeling of spam tagging, but I don't really know if Facebook has implemented anything to keep it under wraps. I think we just have to deal with it.
Caroline McCarthy, I want to thank you so much for being here. Just know that @Nerdist will be following you on Twitter very soon.